Welcome back to another simple truth. We're in the story of Joseph. We're in Genesis chapter 41. We've been going through this story, picking out some simple truths from the life of Joseph. And we just got done talking about the vision, the dream that Pharaoh had, and Joseph is interpreting it. Now, the thing about God is he doesn't give us just warnings and ideas and thoughts and purposes and plans without also giving us the fulfillment of those, right? What should we do with this information? God doesn't just give you information so that you can drown in it, so that you can use it for your own purposes. He gives us information. He gives us wisdom. He gives us insight. He gives us understanding for a purpose. So Joseph just being able to interpret these dreams would have been okay, would have answered Pharaoh's questions, would have saved some people's lives, would have done a whole bunch of stuff. But God also gave an interpretation of the dream and a fulfillment. Here's what you should do with this information. So we look at verse 33. Right? And it says this: Now therefore let Pharaoh select a discerning and wise man, set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh proceed to appoint overseers over the land. Take 1/5 of the produce of the land of Egypt during the 7 plentiful years. Let them gather all the food of these good years that are coming, and store up grain under the authority of Pharaoh for food in cities, and let them keep it. That food shall be a reserve for the land against the 7 years of famine that are to occur in the land of Egypt, so that the land may not perish through the famine. So again, God isn't just saying, hey, a famine's coming, like, listen, and you guys deserve it, and it's just the way it's going to be. God says and warns, like, hey, a famine's coming, prepare for it. Be ready for it. God's constantly warning us. He never just sends us something that just goes poof. We can always find the warnings. We can always find the step-by-step process. Hey, Andy, pay attention. Then it happens. We are never blindsided by God unless we're simply not paying attention, unless we're just simply so into what we're doing, who we are, what we want, what we need, that we're just oblivious to what's going around. God is sending warning signs. God does warning. That's what he does. He says, hey, I don't want anybody to perish, so let me tell you what's going to happen. So again, Joseph said, here's the deal. Find a discerning man. Right, to help lead you through this. You take the 7 years, enjoy the 7 years, but prepare for over here. Now, we talk about this in stewardship, and we talk about like preparing for the rainy day, the rainy day funds that all churches have and all people have. What happens when things don't go so well? Well, again, there's a catch-22 in that, because God says, listen, it's my job to provide for you. I will provide you. So don't just hoard money so when I don't provide for you, that's not going to happen. Right? So we get greedy, we get off track in that whole thing. Again, we find reasons not to give resources out during the famine, right? But this was all about let's get these resources so that we can provide for people during this time. But again, here's the catch with that. It's going to cost them. Right? Again, we live in this world, we live in this culture now where we don't prepare for rainy days. And then when rainy days come, we think that it's somebody else's job to prepare for us, to provide for us, to give us what we need. And it shouldn't cost us anything. Free money, free resources, free all of these things. But that's not always the plan. This plan is going to cost people their land, their property, their animals, it's going to cost, but they're going to get to eat. And at the end of this, they're going to get to restart. They're going to get to remake things. They're going to get to encompass, right, a new life, a new purpose, a new thing. They're going to get to carry on. But again, what does Joseph say? Find somebody, and then find people to help take 1/5 for what's over here, for what is coming. But the key to this whole thing is that Joseph acted on this dream as if it were truth. Right? That's part of the problem, that we hear things from God and we don't know whether or not we're really hearing from God. Is it really truth? So what should we do with it? Do we act upon this? There's some things, that we just jump upon when God says, hey, this is the person I want you to marry. All right, yeah. We jump upon jobs. But then there's other things where we start questioning, did God really say that? Should we do this? Do we act upon it? So my simple truth to you today is really simple. Are you acting upon the things that God is saying? Are you acting upon it? Are you treating it as if it was truth? Are you jumping into what God has said and moving a whole country forward, moving a whole community, moving a whole family, or moving yourself forward? Get this, right? Joseph was a prisoner. He gets summoned to interpret a dream, right? And Pharaoh has a choice now to make. Do I act upon this? Is this good wisdom, or is this not, right? Again, you're about ready to take a fifth of people's things because somebody has told you, hey, here's what this means. And do you have faith? Do you have confidence in what God is telling you enough to act upon it? Hey, join me next time for another simple truth.